Do you like things that you can't afford? Well, you're in luck, 'cause today we're going to cover just that with reserveless lands. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for dropping by and your ongoing support. My name is Patrick, host of the EDH Brutality YouTube page, in which I upload Magic the Gathering contents and analysis every Sunday. Before we jump right into today's video, a quick and special thanks to patrons like you for making videos like this possible. And in fact, today we will be covering 10 of the best lands coming straight from the reserve list. However, it should be mentioned we are only be covering lands in cards that are legal to this day, and we'll be showcasing them within no particular order of price or effect within the game. As always, timestamps will be provided down in the description below if you have ADHD and you just want to see the list. So with that, let's just get right into it. Starting off, we have Bazaar of Baghdad, a land from Arabian Nights with an eroded tap ability stating tap to draw 2 cards, then discard 3 cards, which is a great way to thin the deck as well as fill that graveyard. Unfortunately, however, if you want to equip your deck with one such card, you prepare to set yourself back a good $2,100 on TCGPlayer for a near mint copy. Next up, we have City of Shadows, coming from the set The Dark, with eroded text stating tap to exile a creature you control. Put a storage counter on this land, as well as tap to add 1 generic mana for each storage counter on this land. Thankfully, this sucker only costs about $60, so although not cheap, it pales in comparison to some of the other cards on this list. This, in fact, is a great card if you have a token deck and want to heavily ramp out for late game. Moving back up in price, our third include for the day happens to be a City of Traitors, printed in the set Exodus. This is a card that will set you back nearly $370. So what does all that money get you? Well, it gets you a land that says if you play a land, sacrifice City of Traitors, as well as tap to add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. So if you're looking to accelerate yourself within the game of Magic Gathering, be prepared to de-accelerate your savings. Speaking of savings, how about a Diamond Valley, which in fact is a card more expensive than some diamond rings. That's right, you can pick this sucker up on TCGPlayer for just under $1,000, which will get you a land printed from Arabian Nights with an eroded tap ability stating tap and sacrifice creature. You gain life equal to the sacrifice creature's toughness, which undoubtedly is a great ability within the old school format, however sees rather limited play given the price. Either way though, a fantastic card, especially if you build your deck around high toughness creatures. Want to play in the color green but also build around creatures? Well, how about a Gaea's Cradle? Once again, coming around that $1,000 price tag, this is a land from Urza Saga with a tap ability stating tap to add 1 green mana to your mana pool for each creature you control, which of course is an absolutely busted ability, which still sees play in higher powered EDH games. And of course, green being great at generating tokens, it's not too hard to see why this card is within today's list. But enough of the expensive cards for now, let's talk about something far cheaper. In fact, it is the cheapest card within today's video, that being Lotus Vale, which is a land from the set known as Weatherlight, coming in at just $38. Reading: when Lotus Vale comes into play, sacrifice 2 untapped lands or bury Lotus Vale. Tap to add 3 mana of any 1 color to your mana pool. And at initial glance, this card seems good, but nothing to write home about. But speaking from experience, pair this with a deck full of untappers, and you've got a prime target to combo out on. Speaking of combos, how about we combo into some arguments with the wife after purchasing a card such as Mishra's Workshop? And honestly, don't purchase this thing if you want a happy life. Because you will be questioning your financial decisions. And if you don't question them, everyone else will. That's right, this is a card from Antiquities with an eroded tap ability stating tap to add 3 generic mana to your mana pool, spend this mana only to cast artifact spells. And I'll tell you one thing, the only artifact you're going to be having with this thing is what's left of your fun stick once the family finds out the price you paid for such a card. I mean, come on, for $2,900, just there's better things to do with your money. Even the artwork looks like it's in despair. Listen to me closely. This is not an investment. This is a card game, and I speak from experience. All banned cards, all tanked in... Alrighty, moving on to Lake of the Dead. Much like my soul after the cards tanking in price, we have a card from Alliances, sitting around 100 USD, stating when Lake of the Dead comes into play, sacrifice a swamp or bury Lake of the Dead. Tap to add 1 black mana to your mana pool, or tap and sacrifice a swamp to add 4 black mana to your mana pool, which of course is a great accelerant, which not only fits the theme of black, but can promote into some early game combos when it really counts. The runner-up of today's video happens to be Serra's Sanctum, once again a land from Urza Saga, this time coming around $350, and much like Gaea's Cradle, as discussed earlier, this has a tap ability reading. Tap to add 1 white mana to your mana pool for each enchantment you control. Now this card in itself is not going to finish out games, given that there's quite a bit of setup involved. However, it is one that if you are winning, allows you to win harder, making it a much welcome addition to any Enchantress themed deck. And last but not least, our final card within today's video, also coming in at the most expensive, happens to be the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, which is a land that will forever elude my grasp, because this is a land from Legends with an ability stating all creatures now require an upkeep cost of 1 generic mana in addition to any other upkeep costs they may have. If the upkeep cost for a creature is not paid, the creature is destroyed, which is fucking brutal against any deck this card plays against. But of course, if you want to throw this in your deck, well, it's gonna cost you, because the average price for the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale comes in an eye-watering $3,100.
Jesus Christ.
That's right, folks, $3,100 for a piece of cardboard from 31 years ago. You know, much like Nvidia, I should have picked up a few copies when I was still in the womb. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's list, folks. I hope you all enjoyed. I do plan on having more video formats such as this one. We're gonna cover all of the reserve list cards that I possibly can that are worth covering. So if you like what you saw, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. So with that said, my name is Patrick, host of EDH Brutality. I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.